Okay, seems to have.
Sweet.
All right. So I should be talking. Is that what we're
Yep.
saying? All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Four Beardsmen. We've just unwrapped our hands from one another's throats long enough, and let's go around the table. Demon, how are you, sir?
I am very well. A little bit sore in the stomach and head from the 12-hour stream last night, but other than that, really good. Spent the whole day studying and doing stuff for uni, so I'm a bit frazzled from that. So it's good to have a break and have a fucking argument.
And Johnny O, how are you?
I'm
sir?
doing well. I had a very busy day at work yesterday, so I'm kind of recovering with my inverted commas, as people say, even though they're called quotation marks. Anyway, recovering from work, so cup of Joe, 4 Beardsmen. I mean, I couldn't think of a better place to be.
And how are you, JL?
I am doing good, sir. Doing good. Yesterday, I was pretty much just working on the show and just accomplishing various things. We have a 3-day weekend coming up here, so I'm just trying to get as much done as I can so I can relax on Monday before going to doing good this morning. Got my wake up juice.
Nice. So we have a couple of the old firm, Crafty Keeler and Basic Trigonometry and Tanner Withheld in the chat. All good. They tell us that they can't see Irish Demon.
Yeah, seems to be
we are
something
trying
wrong.
Yeah, something's
to
going
we are
on
trying
with,
to fix that.
Yeah,
But-
it's on. I think it's on your end, Demon. I think it's because
I
you
think
switched
so,
the
too.
cameras.
I think so too. What I'll do is I'll just jump out of the call for a quick minute and I'll pop right back in, and hopefully that should present my beautiful face to the world.
All right, cool.
You have a beautiful face rather than one you've been using so
Tony's bringing the heat.
All right, how's that? I wonder.
Let's see. Let me check. Nope, still blue face.
God damn it! I don't know what to tell you. Let me. Oh, hold on. Is it coming up with the Skype thing?
Yeah.
occasionally.
It's in your settings.
Yeah.
Why don't you want to show your face, you prick?
Hold on a sec. Let me see if I can figure this out. Probably not.
It's under your Skype settings, audio, video.
Do we have echo?
We probably do now that Irish is coming back in.
Oh, okay. Give me 2 seconds. I totally left my vape in the other room.
That's it. Blame the Irishman. Fuck's sakes.
Well,
Oh, that's a world tradition.
yeah.
Who else are we going to blame?
That's that. You know what? We're an easy one to blame because usually we don't give a shit.
Yes. So,
Let me see if I can figure this out, guys.
Yeah.
Sorry about this.
all right. In the meantime, we were having a gentle exchange of opinions. Well, actually, I was yelling my head off because I'm just so frustrated with this Trump thing. There doesn't seem to be anything that he won't do. And then as soon as new allegations come up, everybody goes, well, you haven't proved this to the required legal standard. Yes, but we will. We all know we will. And by the time it's done, it'll be ancient history and nobody will care.
Or we'll have moved on to the next crisis.
Or we'll have not reelected the fucking idiot.
Yeah.
At this point, I mean, I legitimately, and I got to bring this up because because Johnny mentioned the elections. This is a legitimate conversation I had with somebody on, and this is a friend of mine, a personal friend of mine. I've known her, I've worked with her, and she jumped on jumped on Facebook, and she's banning about voting for third parties. And at this point in time, there's more people who hate Biden and hate Trump together that we could all band together and we could get a third party elected.
No.
And I was kind of like, you do not. And I was like, I'm really sorry. It is your right to vote how you want to vote, and I'm not going to tell you who you need to vote for. I personally have issues with Biden as well, just like I had issues with Obama. Okay, but I still voted for him. But the problem is that the way they don't, it's a fundamental misunderstanding of how our system works. And then when you have messages like this going out saying vote for the party, this is the time to unite and put someone in there, you're going to pull like 3 to 4% of the vote, and the rest of it's going to go to the two candidates that have been chosen and are. So at this point, any vote for Biden or any vote against Biden or any vote for anyone else, even if you don't vote for Trump, that is a vote for Trump, because it's not a vote for Biden. And I understand the difficulties there. Biden is old, he knows whatever. But I mean, character-wise, he's leagues above Trump. But people need to understand.
You know what's interesting about that comment? I agree with you 100%. He is above Trump character-wise, but he's still a bad dude.
So I wouldn't say bad.
Well, no, hang on.
Not bad.
Well, but here's the deal. Here's the thing.
Like, you need to clarify that statement that he's a bad dude.
No. Okay. Look, I don't mean he's a bad dude. I mean he wouldn't be my choice. Like because
you got to go by previous history. You got to go by the work that they've done in the past and what they're bringing to it. So I look at 8 years with the Obama administration. I look at the slandering that came out of the Trump campaign to try and discredit him and his son, so they to try and muddy the water so they wouldn't get the DNC nomination. And that all came out. Yeah, well, no, the whole Ukraine thing. And then because the Ukraine shit came out, and they immediately want to start pointing at Biden. Then all of a sudden, in the end, it's all bullshit. And it just quietly went away.
Right, but see, that's politics in general, right? So that's what they do. That's just like
I look at the attacks that have been levied against Biden and his family. I look at the 8 years of supremely excellent service that he gave when he was underneath Obama. I look at the previous years before he made it into the White House. I look at the character of the man. I look at his track record when it comes to his policies, and then I look at Trump. Okay, a failed businessman with a goddamn reality TV show where he was replaced by Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Hey
businessman.
He is.
Yes.
He is a failed businessman. Like virtually every business he's ever opened has gone bankrupt. One of them. He has driven them into the ground.
I forget who it was.
One of his business.
Hang on a second, Jay. Let me point that. Let me point that. I forget which one of his financial advisors came out and said that if he had just taken the money that was given to him and put that in the stock market and left it alone, he would have $8 to $9 billion more than he does now. Yeah. So when you can say that I'm a billionaire, but that is in question, and you've got financial people saying that had you done nothing at all, you would be a real billionaire. Yeah, that's failed.
I mean, like Jimmy, when it comes out that one of his legitimate business strategies in Trump's mind, this is what he thinks, that when he has contractors, when he brings out vendors to work on his properties, in his mind, it is cheaper to not pay them. Okay, than try to force them to deal with court, because he levies the court costs against the businesses that he works for, and nobody can go up against him and his family when it comes to court. He can draw that out as long as he wants, and he still will never pay these individuals for their. He has a track record going back 20 years of stiffing people in New York City. New York fucking hates this man.
Hates him, yeah.
Okay, and he's not even because he's president. They hate him because he's a fucking con artist, real estate asshole.
Yeah, I think
who literally is no more who's as egregious as a fucking slumlord.
Let's let Tony get on this.
I want to step back a little bit in the sense that a person can have flaws, right, as an individual, and those flaws don't necessarily invalidate them for holding high up. He's going to have some sort of limitations. But Trump suffers from several quite serious psychological conditions. He is additionally intellectually myopic, habitually dishonest, and with no interest in actually fixing policies. His primary goal is always to enrich himself, and he has used his office to siphon off a substantial amount of the public purse. So really, Biden would have to be pretty fucking crummy to sort of compete for in terms of being
assholishness.
yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
In order for Biden to be a worse choice for president,
Yeah.
he would basically have to be out there barbecuing babies. Really,
Jesus Christ!
I want to say
on that point. Can I just ask something on that point, just to elaborate on that point, Tony, if you would? Are you basing that solely off his? No, actually, sorry, you already answered that question. I was going to ask if you were basing it solely off his personality, but you also mentioned his business practice, and JL did too. But here's the question, right? And I agree 100%. Like I'm just picking the scab here. I don't want to, you know what I mean?
Playing devil's advocate.
Big time. That's what I do. I don't support Donald Trump. I never have. I never liked him. I never found him entertaining. Never found him funny. And honestly, some of the things he's said that I've seen him say are some of the most reprehensible things I've ever heard a human being say. But I will play devil's advocate, and I'll just ask this, right? Do you guys honestly see Biden as a genuinely good option for president, not just based on him not being Trump? Like I would choose Clinton over Trump, and I don't like Clinton, but I would have chosen her over Trump any day, because she knows what she's doing. She's intelligent. She's a politician. She knows how to get shit done. I might not like her personally, but I think she would have been a better president. There's no question.
Yeah.
But I don't like her. I think she's reprehensible too. But I mean, you're going to find that with most politicians, I think. But here's the thing: do you genuinely?
I'd like to challenge that a little bit. Why is she reprehensible?
I don't like her attitude. I don't like the way she carries the whole thing with.
Does that make her reprehensible?
Maybe it's the wrong choice of words. Unlikable, I think, would probably be a more.
Okay, so that's unlikable. I will accept, but reprehensible.
That's just poor choice of words on my part, I think. But no, here's the question, right? Do you folks, and this isn't me playing devil's advocate, this is just a genuine question. Do you folks think that Biden has the mental ability to be president at his age and what we've seen in the media? Now, I don't trust the media for the most part, but you know, we've all seen his speeches and the way he's interacted with other people. Do you think he's an appropriate candidate?
Yes, and I'll tell you why. Because he surrounds himself with people who are intelligent, who know their jobs, and whenever he's dribbling over his meal, if that's what people's concerns are, he's got people around him that he will defer to. Not to mention the fact that bringing up his age, that's an important factor. Donald Trump himself is no spring chicken. So let's say we take these two administrations. Let's say we put Trump in, and Trump kicks the bucket. Well, who do we have replacing him? The fucking horrible Mike Pence.
Oh my God, yeah, that's one.
Now let's take a look at the other side.
You want to see the evolution?
Hang on a second. Let's take a look at the other side, and if the same thing happens, we put Biden in office and he kicks the bucket. Who do we have replacing Biden? We have Kamala Harris. Right. I think we have to look at the entire picture. We can't just look at Trump versus Biden. We have to look at the big picture. We also have to keep in mind that Ginsburg's seat is coming up. She is not going to be a Supreme Court justice much longer. Who do we want selecting that replacement? Somebody who's going to be in there, for years, decades even. We want the guy that picked, I like beer and have a calendar and a beer. Or do you want somebody who says, hey, I'm going to leave the selection to one of the most important, if not the most important positions in our country, up to people who can really discern expertise. There's a lot of things we have to think about. It's not solely about Trump versus Biden.
Yeah, that's
the
right.
Answer to your question is yes, and pretty much for everything that Johnny said, Biden surrounds himself with talent and intelligence. So because he knows, he can admit that he cannot handle every single little fucking detail, especially at his age. So so that's why he brought in Kamala Harris, because not just because she's female and she's black, but because she is a federal prosecutor who understands the various intricacies of dealing with particular individuals that he will be dealing with in his administration. That the people that he will choose for his cabinet will be experts in their area, that have proven track records in the successes that they've had great success in the areas that he will put them in. It will not be, I'm putting, an oil company executive in charge of the EPA.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a very good point.
All right, let's
We're not
hear
gonna
what
bring up
Tony.
one
Let's get Tony's answer, response to this query.
So I mean, I would suggest yes. The reality is that if for on at least a couple of occasions we have had choices that haven't been that dramatic, right? So if the original George Bush had gotten a second term, I don't think he would have been a disaster. I think he would have been a thoroughly serviceable president. So Clinton versus Bush, that not that bad. I think that John Kerry could perhaps have served as president functionally. So Biden, I'm not sure that he'll be a great president, but he will certainly be a functional president. And right now, I think we've seen the problem with a dysfunctional president, because that's what Trump is. And it's very important to have somebody there who can function. And I think Biden can function for precisely the reasons that have been pointed out. He has enough experience to know that he needs to listen to people around him who have their own strengths and abilities. So.
Well, he wouldn't have lasted this long if he didn't do it the right way.
Right.
Quite simply, But no, I totally accept all those points. Again, I'm just asking the question.
Just playing devil's advocate, right? We get it.
100%. Like if I had to vote right now, if I was a citizen and had to vote, I would be choosing Biden for those reasons that you've mentioned. I certainly wouldn't be choosing Biden for Biden. But definitely the policies that surround him, from the people that surround him. But my concern there, and it's probably not as important overall, but it's just a thought. Does that make him a figurehead of unelected individuals? To some extent. So, like, if there's somebody else telling him what to do or pulling the strings, does that not worry you guys a bit? Or
well, it's not necessarily.
I feel like Trump does what he wants, which is not
dangerous,
good, because I think it's very dangerous. So it's important to have people around you. And actually, just while my brain is ticking, what you said about Pence, I could not imagine in the situation where something would happen to the current sitting president that somebody like Pence would become the president. It would be like, I don't know, it'd be like the American version of the Ayatollah Khomeini or something. It would just be no religious extremist.
If Pence is president, I'm going to be sleeping in a separate bed for my wife.
Yeah.
I mean, it's fucking ridiculous.
To answer your question, your original question, it's not necessarily about Biden not being able to make decisions. It's about Biden recognizing that he may not have the level of expertise in a particular subject. Therefore, he's going to default to the experts, the actual experts, to give him direction so he can have that positive or negative influence that's needed at the time to make the best overall decision. Do I think he's going to succeed on everything? Abso-freaking-lutely not. The guy he's a little long in the tooth. He says some very uncouth things, but based on what we have now, I don't think there's anybody out there. If I hear a fucking Trump supporter talk about, see what he said here, see what he said there, I'm going to slap them across the face and tell them to shut the fuck up, because they have no position to talk. If they're okay with pussy grabber, then they're going to be okay with the guy who says fuck every now and again.
You can look at this, and I want to circle back around to what Irish was saying, is that as far as like evidence goes and where people are deciding on the evidence. I know you're playing devil's advocate in this respect, but Biden did a press conference after that information came out, and the key thing that I took from the whole thing was that Biden could have taken the opportunity to just dogpile Trump on those statements and just go straight for the throat. He could have. But the words that came out of his mouth impressed me, and that was, if these statements are true.
That's a very good point.
Then he owes our military an apology.
You would not have gotten that same from the other side.
Right.
Yeah, he said, I have not heard that they've been confirmed yet. But if they're true, it is appalling.
That's a
if he
very
said those
good
things.
point.
And I was like, okay, so this is literally a man who has the ability to ascertain the difference between an unverified comment and something with hard evidence, and be able to determine between the two. And it was like, holy shit, that right, just the ability to do that puts him in another fucking stadium from Trump.
I agree. Yeah. I agree 100%. Like, I guess one of the issues that I had a bit of a, we'll say again, a heated argument the other day with a friend of mine who's a very strong Trump supporter. And like, this is a very intelligent man, well educated, all the rest of it, but he is almost religious about Trump. And I said, look, what's the problem with Biden for the most part? And, you know, he said about the mental acuity and all that kind of stuff, right? I get it. And then he said, did you hear what he said to that guy or to that lady at one of his conferences where he called her a dog-faced pony soldier? That was so inappropriate. I'm like, dude, Trump said that women who get abortions should be prosecuted for it. I mean, he might not have sworn or called them a bad name, but it wouldn't be the first time he's done that. But he literally said that a person who gets an abortion should be prosecuted, that there should be some punishment for that.
Which is funny in itself, because you know how many bastard children he would have had there not been abortions?
Unbelievable. Yeah, absolutely right. And gents, what I'm going to do, if you can allow me, I'm just going to go and reset my computer because I'm getting a few sound issues now too. So I think it might just be because my computer's been running for hours. So if you could excuse me for about 2 minutes, I'll just reset this and I'll come right back in.
Real quick, while Irish even is doing
this,
sure. What we're going to do, speaking of voting, we had this query between the four Beardsmen. Who is the sexiest Beardsman? Okay. So I want everybody in the chat to rank us 1 to 4. You can send it to my email, theplothole1@gmail.com. And yeah, 1 being the best, 4 being the worst. Don't do me wrong, people. All right, I'm gonna turn this back over to PhD Tony. This is his channel, so I want to make sure that he has. He says all the sexy things.
My vote's for Big D Tony over there.
Well, I think I'm
thirsty as fuck.
I think I'm going to come in last on this particular.
Fuck no, man! It's brains. It's all about what's upstairs.
All about the brains. That's right.
But yeah. But I'm really, there is this. There's this false argument, and it bothers me a lot. Where well, we can't vote for that, or we can't vote for that person because they're not perfect. And you're just going, well, nothing's perfect. So, how about you vote for that because it's better than what we've got at the moment? Or how about you vote for them because it's better than what we've got at the moment? And I kind of think that, a little bit of game theory here, people, would be much appreciated.
Yes, absolutely. And I know that applying that, it's obvious, okay, in that respect. And I also wage it on this, is that there are people out there that want to affect change, especially people who want, third party or want independent party, to have a chance. There are people there to want to affect change. If they want to affect this kind of change, it is possible to do this in this nation. The problem is that you have a roadblock, and the roadblock is the next election. Okay. Now, who, if you want to affect this change, if you want to say implement ranked choice voting across the board, federally instead of just on the state side, if you want to implement things like that and give third parties a chance, who's going to be a bigger roadblock for a choice like that, Trump or Biden? Is like, if you want to make progress, if you want that's the whole big thing, is that there is a progressive movement within the Democratic Party,
Yeah.
and that movement is gaining steam. So if we want ranked choice voting across the board, if we want to get the Equality Act passed, if we want to see these big things, who's going to be the biggest the bigger of the two roadblocks? Is it going to be Trump or is it going to be Biden? And it's Trump is the bigger roadblock of the two. You will affect no change, especially progressive change, if Trump is in office another 4 years. And that means we got to sit through another 4 years of this bullshit and hope basically picking up the pieces of our democracy until he's finally fucking out. And then try to and then we got to clean up in the next presidency. That's my biggest concern about Biden. About Biden's if Biden wins, is that we're going to spend the next 4 years just cleaning up his mess, trying to repair the damage he's done with our allies, trying to unravel this whole border situation that he has created. That ultimately was not about immigration. It was a cash grab, because Bannon and his cronies have just been arrested for using it for siphoning money out of the wall. Yeah. So it's like, that's all it's been. And now the next 4 years of Biden, whatever he does, is going to be cleaning up the fucking mess that this man has left.
Yeah.
Johnny, how are we looking on the camera front?
All right, let me take a look here. Nope, still blue screen. It's in.
You're still black, Irish.
It's in.
I would respectfully submit, Your Honor, that would appear to be a you problem then.
Negative. Because I have changed nothing. I have changed nothing.
Can you bring me in as a separate NDI source?
You are all of you are separate NDI sources.
Fuck.
Yeah, like I said, I've changed nothing. The only thing that's changed has been you and your camera.
So how are they going to know how sexy I am?
Well,
I'm sad to say that you haven't pulled a single vote.
What?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, only 2 people have pulled votes. I haven't pulled a vote either, so don't feel bad.
How's the voting working? Is it just names or?
Yeah, people have just been putting names in. And
okay.
I am shocked. Okay, well done. There's a vote for Demon. From
the sexiest man on the planet.
An Irish demon. Something.
Just going back to I caught the end of what you were saying there, Jail, just about the border situation regarding Trump's actions over the past few years. I seem to recall I mentioned it in a stream before about a documentary that I would highly recommend to anybody who wants to really understand the effects of those legislations. What would they be? What was that an executive order? I believe it was, wasn't it?
Yeah, he had to force.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's right. Yeah, he had to push it through, didn't he? Yeah.
Nobody in Congress was supporting it.
Exactly. So anyway, I would recommend for anybody out there to check out the Netflix documentary Immigration Nation, and it's all about the effects of that legislation on people trying to get into the United States. And I've got to tell you, I think it's 5 or 6 1-hour-long episodes. And myself and Mrs. Demon watched the whole thing just in one go, and it was one of the most harrowing things. I've seen some horrific court cases and stuff like that. This surpassed most of them by a mile. The extent of the human pain that was involved, families being separated, children being kept in cages, husbands being taken away from wives and kids and being sent back to countries where they could be murdered. It was one of the most horrific things, and I think frankly, it's unforgivable.
Not to mention that in order to do what he did, he declared a national emergency down there at the border, and by declaring a national emergency, that opens up the coffers of emergency response. and allows him to drain those money to take money out of those coffers, put them somewhere else, which leaves us woefully underprepared for an actual fucking
a real
crisis.
emergency.
Yes.
So, in a legitimate emergency, thank our lucky stars that Laura and that other hurricane, I can't remember the name of it.
We'll call it Sally.
Yeah, the two hurricanes that came up through the Gulf. Thankfully, the damage wasn't next level extensive. There were deaths, but it wasn't Katrina style damage. So thankfully, we dodged that bullet, because had those two hit and caused mass destruction, FEMA would have been underfunded. We wouldn't be able to respond. That would have made that response would have made our coronavirus response look like a fart in the fucking wind.
Yeah.
Yes.
I like that.
Yeah. Yeah, that's an extremely good point. And I have to say, so my main problems with the Republican Party are that they are very happy to throw money away if it goes to large corporations like health insurance companies or defense material manufacturers. But they're unwilling to dedicate money to helping people get educated and fed, or looking after veterans' health, or providing adequate and systematic training for law enforcement officers. These things strike me as stuff that America should be throwing a lot of money at, and could be throwing a lot of money at, but instead they're paying twice as much as they should be doing for healthcare, and they're blowing vast amounts on things like new jet fighters that are obsolete as it stands, let alone by the time they're finished being produced. So it's there's just this fixation with particular forms of corporate welfare. And then they turn around and say, "Oh, but we can't afford to do these other things because that would be too expensive." Well, how about you not piss the money away on these, glory projects that make you sound good, rather spend it and worthwhile.
And you know the thing is, we don't necessarily have to draw out more money for certain programs like universal health care. All we have to do is reallocate funds that we're already spending.
Yep.
Yeah. A mere 3%. We've spoken about this before. A mere 3% reduction in defense spending could solve any number of problems, but predominantly infrastructure, healthcare, or education. You imagine taking 3% out of our defense budget and putting that and injecting that directly into health and human services. Okay, or 3% putting it directly into education reform, or 3% putting it directly into the crumbling infrastructure of this nation. Holy shit, the problems that we could solve. And even if you took that 3% out, we would still be outpacing the next 20 countries combined in military spending. We could actually drop it by 10%, and we would still be outpacing many countries below us. Imagine 10% reduction in spending in defense, and put that into the problems that we have here domestically. Oh my God, the gaps that would close is ridiculous.
Nerd Angle brings up a Republican talking point. Does the US really need the amount of bases we have around the globe? The answer is yes, you do. The reason I say that is because experience shows that if you don't address threats on an away basis, they turn into threats on your home basis. So if you don't help stabilize Europe by having military bases in Europe and protecting them against Russian aggression, then you're going to pay in the long term. It's a short-term strategy to suggest we only need to worry about America and screw the rest of the world. A lot of people are, a lot of conservatives have suggested that this sort of stuff is a waste of money, but it's not. It's not actually that good a policy. It turns out that having these bases, having these personnel there, is actually quite useful and worth the expense.
Actually, yeah, and to piggyback on that, there's actually a documentary that people can watch, and it's one of my favorite documentaries. I have two favorite documentaries: a world without an, or a nation without an immigrant, or a day without an immigrant, and the world without us. So, a world without us imagines a hypothetical situation which the new president comes in and demilitarizes the globe, basically pulls all of U.S. military influence out of every nation and brings them all back domestically. And it examines geopolitically what would occur if that were to happen. And within 6 months, the world would descend into absolute chaos because the vast majority of the bases that we have in other countries are merely there as kind of like a deterrent.
Yeah.
They're just sitting there going, yeah, the Americans are here. We're not really affecting it. The only thing that we're really doing is ensuring that this country doesn't just storm into this country to take what they want, or this country does, or these two bad guys don't join forces to do this because the Americans are there. And you would see a destabilization as Russia would make moves, China would make moves, everyone would jump on. The Middle East would turn into a complete and total wasteland because the only reason they don't fall into just straight up interballistic war is because the military is standing right there. Like it's like, fuck, we could do this, but the U.S. military is right there.
Yeah, right over the hill.
Yeah.
Can I just add on to that? Sorry, Tony, go ahead.
Well, I just wanted to say quickly, of all of Trump's decisions, I think the worst one was his decision to pull out of Syria. And
when he fucked over the Kurds.
Yeah. Fucked over the Kurds and ceded influence in the region to Russia. It was just a huge betrayal of the United States and a betrayal of the Kurds and a betrayal of the region more generally. Of all of the decisions that he's made, that to me stands out as the worst one that he has been responsible for. But sorry, over to you, Irish.
So as far as I can see with regard to reducing bases overseas, I absolutely agree 100% with what both of you have said, and I echo that. But what I would also add to that is the protecting factors of it. A lot of countries out there completely rely on the United States for protection, like Japan. Like South Korea. Without the United States, they'd still be strong, but they wouldn't be strong enough to defend themselves. When you look at the Middle East and Crimea, for example, and other kind of flashpoints around the world, without a strong intervening superpower, be it the UN peacekeepers or United States peacekeepers or whoever the case may be, not only does it descend into that intertribal warfare, the interfactional warfare, but then you also have nefarious governments acting as proxies, like in Syria, where Russia very quickly escalated from supporting a proxy war in Syria to when the US pulled out, they started sending in Sukhoi fighter jets in there themselves. That's right. And so I think that protecting factor, the United States being what it is and owing a lot of what it is to the rest of the world as well, I think it would be a great disservice to the rest of the world if they were to redact that protection that they provide.
Not to mention offering a hand out to the Kurds that we left behind, because now a former massive ally of ours that has helped us out in numerous situations, down to the point of assisting our war efforts in other countries, have now been completely abandoned, and now Russia has gone and be like, well, we're here.
Yeah, but of course, there's it's the old story of the frog and the scorpion, right? You don't trust Russia don't trust Putin's Russia. Jessica G just let loose one of the all-time great great comments.
Maybe the Oakley Spurs season Woodset are copying your show. They're calling it the Fort. Yeah.
I was reading that as I felt bad because I was reading that as Tony was giving his insightful comments, and I started to laugh, and I had to step away for a second because I didn't want Tony to think I was laughing at him.
No, that's
Jessica
fine.
G, you are legend.
No, she's not. No, she's not. She's off my Christmas list. And I just wanted to. Something just came to mind that I recall from a documentary I saw a while back, and I think it's another important point about the U.S. influence abroad. Aside from just the the military side of things, is also the foreign investment side of things. If you look at a lot of the islands surrounding Australia, independent countries, the like Vanuatu and a few other countries, and then you also have a lot of countries in Africa that receive little or no investment from the United States. Those countries are very rapidly turning to China. There's an interview with I think, Prime Minister or maybe President of Vanuatu talking about, oh, maybe it was Tonga, one of those countries, talking about why they are basically accepting everything from China. China now own most of their ports and things like that. So I think that's a really important thing for the US to consider, is more foreign investment.
It's also I think from a climate change perspective, what has actually happened is that the most advanced countries in the world have basically stolen the opportunity to emit greenhouse gases from the rest of the world. So these developing economies, these these second and third world countries, if emissions restrictions are introduced, if the emissions restrictions that we need are introduced, then that's going to impede them financially, economically. So what we've done, what Australia and America and Europe have done, is basically steal an economic opportunity from the rest of the world. And so if they have to, if there is a cost associated with setting up green energy so that they don't emit greenhouse gases, then it's up to the wealthy countries who have actually stolen that opportunity to finance them through it.
Yes.
So we have an economic responsibility to help places like Africa and some of the poorer places in Asia, and South America, to develop their economies and get a green energy. Demon, I've got some bad news for you as far as this.
I've been keeping a tally. So I've been keeping a tally right here.
I just responded to Jessica G.
And we've got. I've got 3 more minutes. I'm taking 3 more minutes.
Okay, all right. So, for those of you who came in late, the question being voted on in the chat is.
Oh my God, Jessica G!
I just saw it. Jessica G, you may be able to pull that shit with Team Skeptic, but you won't pull it with me, woman.
Oh, I felt that over here.
Jesus Christ.
That hurt. That hurt, man. God damn.
Oh, high IQ,
hey, guys,
baby.
if everybody votes for me, I'll build a wall between me and the rest of the lads. That's the plan. That worked before. But I will say this though, while we're waiting for the results to come in, just because I know there's a few people in the chat that I definitely argued with in streams earlier, and Tony. Again, this is just me pulling the scabs, just trying to get, because I think when you have people that have good things to say, and you have an outlet to do it, I think it's easy for us all to sit down and say, oh, well, we all agree this, blah, 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 blah. But it's when one of us, I think when anybody challenges it, more shit comes out. And I think that's super important to have those conversations. And so I know there's a few people in the chat that I might have upset earlier because I was going long dick style, but no, it's all in fun and learning.
Well, that's the thing. I don't think anybody here on this panel wants this to be an echo chamber, right? So if we can't handle a little scrutiny or a little challenge to our positions,
absolutely
right? Then,
and as long as you all accept that I'm right at the end.
I had that experience on a movie show, on a movie channel. Like they had this list, the 10 great movies that flopped at the box office, and one of them was Blade Runner. But two of them that were up there were Zodiac, David Fincher's film about the Zodiac killer, and Citizen Kane, which apparently neither of which apparently did well. And I wrote a comment that said, I don't think these films are great. I think they're actually quite well. These films aren't great. I said they're tedious. I find them both quite boring. And that may make me a Philistine in many people's views, but that's my opinion. And somebody else came along and said, well, I agree with you as far as Zodiac is concerned, but Citizen Kane is a great film. And I said, well, that's my opinion. You don't have to listen to it. He's going, well, if anybody states their opinion as though it's fact, I'm going to challenge them on it. At which point I said, well, when I express my opinion, I normally rely over to understand, to have the intellectual ability to understand that I am expressing my opinion and not anybody else's. Now, obviously, my opinion is the only correct one, but there is no law that requires that you guys be correct. In fact, demonstrably, you aren't. But it isn't legal, so go. Anyway.
So you were saying that you found Zodiac and Citizen Kane to be tedious films.
Yes.
Okay, you're right on Citizen Kane. That movie is boring as fuck. I'll be one of the first to say it. I don't care what the AFI fucking says. That movie is boring as shit. Oh my god, it was kind of like the visual version of reading The Great Gatsby. But Zodiac was solid. Now, but I think I'm a little bit biased. I thought Zodiac was amazing. I actually love David Fincher as a director. I think he was hamstringed in Alien 3 by the studio, and that was just out of his control. But I really like David Fincher's work. I mean, come on, 7. What are we gonna do? But
I shall challenge you on that as soon as you stop speaking.
But I think I'm a little bit biased because my background being in forensic and abnormal psychology is that serial killers do fascinate me in that respect, and the kind of the whys and the hows of what aberrant individuals do and the crimes they commit. I really, really enjoyed 7, and despite there are some plot holes, yes.
There are some what?
There are some plot holes, yes. I agree. I agree with what you said before, Johnny. There are some plot holes in that film, but I like the idea that I liked it. Number one, the acting was fantastic. I thought everyone was on there. Yes.
Brad Pitt sucked balls in that movie.
He did
He
not.
was terrible. He was terrible in that film.
You cannot look at Brad Pitt's performance in that and measure it solely on its merits because his character is working in tandem with Morgan Freeman.
Okay.
The two of them have to be seen as a duo and not an individual carrying presence. Okay. So yes, his character is balanced perfectly with Morgan Freeman.
I want to say my piece now.
Go ahead.
Yes, please.
The killer's pathology makes no fucking sense whatsoever.
Right.
Okay,
we are led to believe.
Hang on, let him finish. Let him finish, Tone.
We are led to believe that he has planned this entire sequence of crimes a year in advance, a year to the day in advance. But his plan revolves around Brad Pitt being the investigating officer so that he can punish him for his anger sin. Now that is extemporization.
Right.
That is a sudden change in direction. He is responding to what's going on. He can't be both. He's either got to be somebody who is fixated on the details and is sticking with them, or and they try and have the best of both worlds, or he's some freewheeling artist who views his murders as performance art. But that's clearly not the case. So to me, they fucked up the killer's pathology. He's not psychologically plausible.
Oh, okay. So as a small deal, and I don't think it'll change your mind or anything, but there is information about the characters and the storyline that was done in a prequel comic that was released after the film came. I think it was actually shortly before the film came out, where it actually answered some of that stuff and set up the pathology of John Doe and went into those kind of details to kind of shore those up. And it was basically his backstory and how we got into that.
That doesn't make the movie any better, does it?
I fucking loved the movie. I thought it was engaging. It caught my attention. I love the idea of this of a criminal mastermind of this degree. And while it's not, it's a movie. It's not super realistic in that respect. I liked it because I could lose myself in it, and it didn't. It was like, oh, it's so real. It's like this. It's not like Mindhunter on Netflix, which is a brilliant David Fincher project. Yeah, but it's a brilliant film or a brilliant series. I fucking love that. This one is a little bit more artistic in that respect, and I can appreciate that.
Can I just want to say one other thing. The other thing that really annoyed me about this was that nobody, when he was going on in the interrogation room about how fucking clever he was, nobody just turned around and said, "Look, you're a foaming nut bar." Shut. Because he was. He was so petty and violent and tiny that he had to kill people to make himself feel better about himself. And, Morgan Freeman's character, I can understand that Brad Pitt didn't have the intellectual ability to challenge him, but Morgan Freeman's character should have stepped up and just said, "Look, you're a narcissistic, broken piece of shit. And we deal with, 20 of you guys a week. You're just crazier than most of them."
Well, doesn't Brad Pitt...
Wasn't that the whole sequence in the car?
That was Brad Pitt in the car, yeah.
Yeah, that was Brad Pitt's the whole thing in the car. You're a nutbag.
But it wasn't in the... that was after... That was well and truly after, hours after.
That's true. Okay.
In the interrogation chamber. When you've got a narcissist like that, make them feel small.
Right.
It's, because that's what's going to hurt them. That's what's going to crack them. And I feel like there was no, if you, again, I can't sort of recommend this series enough, but you should watch Cracker, the television series with Robbie Coltrane, because his ability to rip apart, seriously damaged perpetrators is really quite impressive. But anyway.
All right. So are we ready for the results of this year?
Yes.
All right.
No.
I'm extremely curious myself. I know Irish isn't.
I'm just going to update the list of people who are dead to me. Basic trigonometry is dead to me. Let me see. Who else is dead to me?
Are you writing this in red lipstick?
I am writing this in finger blood. Magda the Tripping Mistress isn't dead to me, but she's
on life support.
Has dropped. She's dropped a few rungs.
People I'm going to kill.
List of people I'm going to kill. There was some other mean people. I believe Colin is now an actual Colin. And who else? Somebody else had something nasty to say, and can frankly bite me.
All right, here we go. Now coming in dead last with only 4 total votes. However, 2 of them were first place votes. Would be myself. Johnny O's dead last. I only got 2. I got 4 total votes with 2 being number ones. Coming in third with 5 total votes, with the majority of them being 3, would be Irish Demon.
That's fucking bullshit. This is a mail-in voting fraud right here.
Except nobody mailed their votes in. Coming in at number 2 with 5 number 1 votes, 7 votes total, would be J.L. Warren, which means PhD Tony, you didn't finish last. I told you wouldn't.
That's I'm surprised by that, I have to say, but it is my channel, so everybody wants to make me feel good. That's the way it is.
In reference to JL winning, I will quote. Hey, listen. in reference to JL getting first place, I definitely demand a recount.
JL didn't get first. He got second.
I didn't get first place. I got second.
Who got
place.
first?
Tony got first.
God damn! What the fuck is wrong with you people?
Look at this man. These people are thirsty as fuck.
Yeah.
Well, then I will quote a famous Irishman and say, "I am prettier than this man."
I will say that the majority of people, well, everybody who voted PhD Tony #1 did it for his big brain.
My big sexy brain. That's the one.
His big PhD.
What people don't know is that PhD Tony is 6 foot tall and a 5'9" body.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. That's why my head came up through my hair like this. I was too tall for my hair.
That's right.
Jesus Christ. I have to say I'm very disappointed.
Well,
bullshit. I mean, I knew I'd beat Johnny. That goes without saying, but
that's true. Yeah.
Johnny got 3 number 1 votes.
No, I got 2 number 1. I got 2 number 1 votes.
2 number 1 votes. You didn't get any number 1 votes.
That's bullshit, man. I just want to say I've also got a really, really bad brain freeze right now because I just sucked back a caramel frappe out of disappointment and depression. And my head is killing me. Hey, what's going on with the camera, Johnny? Oh, that's got to be you, man.
I'm telling you.
I restarted my computer.
It's not about, it's your Skype settings. It's what you're sending. What camera you're sending through to Skype is not the one that we're receiving on our end. I don't know why. Let's see. You know what? We'll do this.
Little Wolf says that it was JL's looks that he voted for, but also JL's love of horror. Now I'm going to put my hand up here. I like horror too. I want to say, and I went to see the New Mutants yesterday, and I think a lot more people should see it. I thought it was really good, but.
Oh, I've definitely because of the lockdown situations here. Theaters are just an absolute mess, and we have so many, just idiots running around Texas that just don't give a goddamn. And I actually have close friends of mine that are immunocompromised, either through diabetes or various other things, and so I don't want to. So I'll have to catch everything when it comes on Xbox Live. So I just download all my movies there. So I will. They'll get my money. They will get my money. They just won't get it at the theater. Not to mention, you go to the theater and it's like fucking $20 for snacks, and it's insane.
Yeah, I'm just worried if I don't go that they'll go out of business, and I don't want that to happen.
You're not allowed to bring your own snacks with you in America, are you?
We're not. We're not supposed to.
No. Theaters won't let you bring outside food in.
That's
they
bullshit,
also can't check your purse.
Yeah, they can't check you, but in that respect. But actually,
just put it in a condom.
Well, you wouldn't get very many snacks in there, would you, Irish?
I would. Oh wait, I mean, as long as they don't check your prison purse.
Good.
Yeah, just.
Oh my god.
That's what we used to call it.
Are we going to go down the arse pen route from Deadpool 2?
Deadpool 2, yes. Oh my god, I can hear you rummaging around in there.
Oh,
do they make Purell for your ears?
Jessica G has updated her list.
Hell. She can go to hell.
Wait, I missed it.
Johnny O.
I'll take my number 2 slot. Take silver.
Yeah, I am number 3, and Irish Demon doesn't even get acknowledged.
What the fuck happened?
Well, I hope you get a brain freeze.
I don't understand how Jessica hasn't been sort of dragged bodily onto a stream, because she is so funny. Like, just in the chat, she cracks me up. Pretty much 2 or 3 times.
Let's see.
At least every stream.
Colin says PhD Tony is the bomb, JL Warren is the monster, Johnny O is the assassin, and Little Irish is the leprechaun demon. Makes sense. Really makes sense. Really long. May they remain the four Beardsmen. Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
Historical philosopher. I've done nothing to Jessica G but show her love and affection on every stream, and abuse shit is my thanks.
As much as she abuses Team Skeptic, obviously abuse is her way of showing love.
Absolutely.
So she obviously loves you more than she loves us.
So what she's saying by making me number 4 is she means I'm number 1, really.
No, you're still number 4.
That's fucking bullshit. Any luck on the camera thing, Johnny? Oh, that's definitely your side.
No, it's not my side. It's your side. I'm telling you.
What can I change? What can I change? I want people to know how pretty I am.
You're gonna bitch about the conditions of the voting now?
It.
Absolutely.
Don't worry, I got you back up. Don't worry.
Bullshit.
I don't think the apocalypse has started.
It started in 2016.
20. Yeah. Well, it depends who you ask. Why not? So it's apocalypse just means revelation, doesn't it?
That's all it means.
Something like that.
All right, Irish. I've got your video up and running.
What I suggest is you get a penis, you put it in between 2 slices of bread, and shove it right up your ass. That's what I gotta say.
I can't believe that the man who did all of those Daniel Pratt memes on me is quite so thin-skinned about the.
But Tony, there's a big difference there because it's uncanny. Like
it's uncanny. Yeah.
All you have to do is the breathing, just to.
Thank you, Mr. Redhill. Did you see his mustache? It looked exactly like yours. It was just.
He looks like me. I don't look like him.
Yeah. Oh dear. But Ragnarok is a better turn, John Rapp. Yes. I was struck by how similar they were. It's that mustache.
That's
if you're going to twirl your mustache like that and have it manicured and that sort of thing.
I just want to address another comment. Ilya Moon said, if none of them were speaking, Irish Demon would be number 1 for me just based on looks. So you can all shove it.
She's just trying to make you feel better.
If this was solely a prettiness competition, I would win.
Solely a pulchritudinousness.
You love that word, don't you?
I do love that word.
Nerd Angle. He looks like me. I don't look like him.
All right.
There's a difference.
Johnny, I've got another image you could put up there for Irish Demon.
All right, what do you got?
I'm going to pull it from the movie Society.
Well,
I think I know where you're going.
Well, my question is, why does Irish show up in Skype?
I don't know. Like I said, I've tried adding.
That's why I think it's a you problem, Johnny.
Listen. I've tried cycling through the different sources. I've also added in a new NDI, and it still shows up as a blue screen, just like this. Blue screen. We'll see if we can't. We're gonna cycle through them and see if we can't get you back up. Now that I've put your real form up there and we do this, it's probably gonna work because your real form doesn't want to get out. So
yeah, it seems only fair.
Yeah, it seems only fair.
What's the MDD about the moon landing being fake? We're being asked.
I can't watch modern day debate anymore. I just can't do it.
Yeah, I'm off it these
Can't
days.
do it.
Me too, actually. I watched it for like 2 minutes and I was like, nah.
I just can't do James. I'm sorry, James. If you're watching this, you're a shit moderator. That's all I can say.
Yeah, it ruins.
It really
does.
I mean, it really does.
I actually, and I'm a total masochist. When I sent it to you, Johnny. I'm a total masochist when it comes to it, but I had to pop over and look at when Planar Walk was debating Nathan Thompson, and I knew it was going to be a fucking a total shitstorm, and because Planar Walk is people familiar with his videos. Planar Walk is very, very cool. He's a very collected dude. He's not aggressive whatsoever, you know. And he and Seek Truth Speak Truth were going up against Nathan Thompson and this asshole named Jeffrey Doherty. Doherty, yeah, and this racist piece of shit motherfucker.
He's an asshole.
Oh my god, next level. And so you combine this guy with his religious rhetoric and bullshit with Nathan Thompson, and put him up against a reformed flat earther and one of the coolest, most collected and chill dudes in the debunking community. And it was there was, you know, obviously Nathan Thompson had nothing to say. They ran roughshod all over everything. They interrupted at every turn. It was just blah blah blah, blah like this. I think I heard 3 times James say, "Hey, we got to let him respond. We'll go easy, Nathan. We got to let him respond." Never muted him once, never shut him down, never locked it down, and just what I was like. It was like, come on, guys. It's like, it's not worth it anymore.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sorry, Tony. Go ahead.
No, well, I was just saying, like, I'm not going to stand for that if I'm in a debate. If I'm I will try and self-moderate just by shouting down people if they're, but because I object to the whole concept that the first thing out of somebody's mouth is a lie. Planar Walk isn't aggressive, and I am, because I'm an angry old bastard.
Someone mentioned someone in the chat mentioned the super chats to go along that. So now MDD has made a change that if you super chat and it's like, say you super chat like $1 or $2 or whatever, and it's like a snarky super chat, like, you know, like mine, I spent $2 to say Nathan Thompson's so broke he can't even pay attention, because it keeps leaving the stream whenever other people are talking. So I was making that joke. Well, they will no longer read super chats that are like that. So unless they're substantially rewarding. So if you do like if I see something snarky for like $10, they'll read that. But if it's cheap, then they won't read
Irish,
that
what are you
anymore.
doing?
That's okay. I was fucking around and I broke everything. Sorry.
This is why you're number 4.
Don't make me put your real phone back up there.
I was messing around with the camera and it was a wasted escapade.
I've got your
no, not wasted. It was absolutely destructive.
That's what you all get. That's what you all get for fucking putting baby in the corner.
It says something about you that you went for that film too.
You know what? The only reason I went for that one because I was on a like my good friend Mr. Trump. I was on a reality TV show back fucking must be 6 years ago now, and we had to do a scene from what was that movie? That was Patrick Swayze, wasn't it?
Yep.
Dirty Dancing.
Dirty Dancing. That's it. Yeah.
Patrick Swayze, Jennifer Grey.
Yeah, that's right. We had to do a scene.
Lenny
from
Briscoe.
That.
There you go.
Yes. Well, he was Briscoe on Law and Order.
Yes, Jerry
Orbach.
Yeah.
Who was the voice of Lumiere, by the way?
I did not know that. But there you go.
What year did Dirty Dancing come out?
80.
87 or 88?
I think it was 87 or 88. I was about to say 88, but then somebody said 87.
Okay.
Oh, Tony, it came out on your 53rd birthday.
Yeah. Oh, Jesus Christ.
That was earlier this year, mate.
Oh,
Man,
geez.
I'm the hate for MDD in the
Yeah,
chat is redonkulous. I will only, and it was so fucked up because I watched so many of the debates. I wanted to be on there. I was like, I would like to be on MDD one day. I'd like to really tackle somebody. And then I got my opportunity when I was filling in for Craig when team like messaged me like an hour beforehand. It was like, hey, you want to be on MDD with me? And I was like, fuck yeah, I'm going to jump on this. So I had an hour to prepare, and it was against those jackass people who think evolution is bullshit and religious astards. And it was ridiculous because team was presenting legitimate rock solid evidence, big on the ERVs and various other things like this, and they're just trying to poke holes and everything, and they were yelling and screaming and calling team an asshole and calling him on his language and yada yada, and just completely out of control. And because I had little time to prepare, team took the lead, so I'm sitting here in the background just kind of like just watching everything going on. So I got to be there firsthand to see this shit. And then I asked it was like, so let me ask a question. So I ask a question, and then they start going off, and there's no control whatsoever. James would be like, James wouldn't hold him to a response. He wouldn't do, whatever. He wouldn't allow us to rebut if they conjured up if they said, well, team skeptical like this, and his team wouldn't get a chance to respond. So it's kind of like, it's completely out of whack. And now
he came across as very disinterested, I found, in a lot of those debates. And I feel like he's not lost interest in it, but just not kind of really putting in the effort. It could be such a good show. I mean, it could easily be the new non sequitur, you know what I mean? Like it had potential to really become a serious thing, but I think just the lack of effort to some extent, just really, like if they had someone like Ilya Moon even in there, because Ilya Moon, was it Ilya Moon?
Ilya Moon moderated the MC June deal, and she was fucking brilliant.
Excellent. So that's why I'm saying if they had somebody like her in there, it would be way better because there would be more control. And don't get me wrong, I love a dumpster fire, but when you just have people shouting at each other, it gets out of control, I mean,
so that portion does have its place in debate, the dumpster fire portion of the debate, but it can't be the entire debate because then it's not really a debate; it's just two people shouting at each other. And I will hang on. I'm gonna put devil's advocate hat on for a second. I will step in a little bit to defend James, just a squidge, but I still think he's a shit moderator. Dealing with having had certain debates myself on the plot hole, it can be a little overwhelming at times to chat, to watch the chat, to listen to the debate, and to make sure that everything goes the way it's supposed to go. Not to mention there are certain things, like if we're doing a Skype debate, for instance, there's no way to mute. I can't mute people. I mean, I can, but they just go right back and unmute themselves, or they can leave the call and then rejoin the call and not be muted anymore. So there is that technical aspect of it, which is why if you're going to do that style of show, you really need something that gives you more control over what's going in and what's going out. So having a vMix type situation where you can individually mute people and then unmute them is a necessity. And then when you format your show, or you say your show is formatted towards a debate, like this is a debate show, okay? But you don't go with your guests and say, this is the format that we're going to have. And he has such a loose format. Well, we're going to do opening statements, then we're going to get into the crosstalk. Well, what the fuck, man? I mean, can we do the Q&A at the beginning where it's supposed to happen? Where we ask you a question, we ask one-sided question, they get 2 minutes to respond to that question, and then the opposing side gets a minute and a half to rebut, and then 30 seconds for a redirect. Boom. And then after we've done that, after everybody's established their position, after everybody's gone through the quote formal part of the debate, which is something I've been trying to get done on the plot hole for a while, I just haven't had the right participants. Then you can get into the open discussion where the dumpster fire can happen. He doesn't do that. He doesn't do any of that.
Yes.
No, he doesn't.
And this brings. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Well, I haven't watched modern day debates ever, so I don't know what's going on. But you're exactly right. You in order for it to be a debate, it needs a well-defined question that is being discussed, and it needs a well-defined format for people to have an opportunity to lay out their position. And without those, it's just going to descend into people yelling at one another in short order. I was with MC Toon on that debate against Hip Hop Hippie, and Ilya did an extremely good job. Agree to disagree. They do a fantastic job as well. And it was one of the things that actually annoyed me about Bart K, the climate denialist nutritionist, because he said, "I want to debate you," and he just said, "I want to debate you. I want to debate you," and then he gets on the debate and he goes, "Well, what I wanted was a civilized discussion." That's not what you said.
Right.
You said you wanted a debate, and I suggested we go over to agree to disagree. And no, you insisted that you wanted to do it on Fight the Flat Earth channel.
Because Fight the Flat Earth has 40K subs.
Yeah, that's right. And you just like so, and furthermore, in the chats and in the emails, you just told me I was fucking wrong. There was none of this. There's this paper over here, but I don't necessarily believe what's in the paper.
Yeah.
Actually, it's very fucking clear that you do.
Right.
Yes.
And you're just lying to sort of make it,
save face.
to save face. And furthermore, what was in the paper would do any flat earther proud in terms of ripping apart science. But
he even went so far as to admit on the stream, he was like, well, I'm just here for exposure because I've got a new channel.
Right.
And I'm like, you fucking cock. Nobody is going to want to go see your channel if you act like that. He was like, there was one stage, and I felt like dragging him through the computer screen where he blabbed like just verbal diarrhea for a good 20 minutes. Tony spoke for about 2 minutes, and then he was like, "Can I get a word in, Tony? Can I get a word in? You're very rude. You're very rude." Yeah. And I was like, "Shut the fuck up, dude."
Yeah, that was the other thing, and he had this thing where he would pause, and I would start saying something, and he'd go, "I'm not finished yet," and he did it.
Oh my god, yeah. You said at one stage, you need to let me know when you're finished speaking, so I know when to interject.
And I was like, fucking cues and shit.
Oh,
that was the same crap that I dealt with on Johnny's channel when I debated that theist. Is that he would I guess he would complete a thought and then go quiet, and then the minute I got a word out, boom, he was on to the next thought, and it was just like this stream of consciousness that you're trying to fight against, which is utterly ridiculous.
Are you talking about what's his name?
He was so obnoxious. I've literally put his name out of my mind.
I can't remember his name either. I just see him as lying shitbag.
Yeah, but this whole conversation is interesting and brings up an interesting dynamic. And I saw that people out there are throwing a lot of love to agree to disagree, and agree.
Crafty Sheila,
what
did a good job in there a few weeks ago.
Yeah, what Creaky and Conspiracy Cats are doing over there is fantastic, and I really, really enjoy it. I honestly, and people may not agree with me, I honestly think they dropped the ball a bit with having Shirley Roper Phelps on. I think that should have gone a different direction. That's just my opinion.
Worst the selection for opponent on that one.
Yeah, I don't think that was that felt very, very staged, and I think it may have been just because Shirley is known to get very, very hostile, but that's kind of the point, is to if the person cannot control the character, then people can see them for what they are. But I think they're doing really good. But this is an interesting question here, is that there was a very huge power vacuum that occurred when the non sequitur show fell apart. This has created a power vacuum that I think many people have tried to fill. And MGD tried to fill that void because people obviously gravitated there when non sequitur show went away. Yeah. And I think that they failed to fill that void at all. They had their opportunity, but it's descended into absolute chaos, a dumpster fire, and it's going for subs, shit like that. And
I have a quick
think
question.
Uh-huh.
Which is, and Jessica has brought this up. Do you feel that modern day debates gives a platform to people who shouldn't be given a platform?
Yes, absolutely.
Well, hang on a second.
Absolutely.
Hang on a second. I will challenge that idea, JL. Whereas I am not about platforming everybody.
Hi, for those of you that don't know me,
What the fuck was that?
That was me. Sorry.
Okay. Whereas I'm not necessarily.
Irish fucking with shit again.
There we are. Whereas I'm not necessarily about giving everybody a platform. I do think that there are times where certain people need to be platformed and then completely deconstructed. I don't have a problem with putting Shirley up to platforming Westboro Baptist Church against the right person, because that's somebody who needs to be just fucking demolished, ripped apart in every sense of the word. That thought process, the idea that they try to, well, not that they try, that they scream and shout at people, that needs to be completely 100% deconstructed by force, either through ridicule, whatever. So I'm not necessarily saying that. I don't agree that modern day debate puts platforms people who shouldn't be platformed. Because even Nathan Thompson, even platforming Nathan Thompson, letting him do his shtick where people who have gray matter between their ears can see how ridiculous this is, how destructive that his thought process is. I don't have a problem with that. Again, against the right person, against a person who's going to hold his nuts to the fire and say, hey, look, what you're saying is absolute bollocks because this, and this. You can try and scream and shout over all you want. It's not going to work because you're still an idiot.
But I think I do think that some people, so for instance, why you are an idiot, really doesn't deserve a platform. He's an extremely ill individual, and I think that giving him attention is actually really bad for you.
Harmful, yeah.
Right, and again, I would agree with that. I would agree
Hans
with that.
Wormhat.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's the big thing. That I think with YouTube, it's a different dynamic. So Nathan Thompson has his own channel. Hans Wormhat has his own channel. Why You Are an Idiot has his own channel. They platform themselves, and it is up to the viewer to decide whether or not we want to go to those channels and watch their bullshit. Now, when MDD says if MDD has the right to platform whoever they want to platform, but there comes a point in time where because these individuals already have their own platform, they're doing their own thing, MDD, that opens up the door for MDD to make the decision. It was like, look, we are not going to platform you because of your behavior that you have exhibited in either the real world or something like that. We gave you a voice once. You crossed a specific line, whatever that line may be. Like, says we give a platform to Nathan. Then Nathan goes out there and gets arrested for harassing kids at schoolyards. That is not acceptable. We will not platform you. You can continue to do the shit on your channel, and we're not going to come out and openly decry your channel, but you will not have a platform on us if you continue to exhibit these behaviors. So I think it's not like in like an open world, like real world debate. I think because they have their own place where they can go and do their shit, and it's not MDD's. It's MDD can make that choice because they're not taking away a platform. They're simply saying we're not giving you another one.
Yeah. Well, I just want to. You just reminded me. Actually, I see in the chat that Kent Hoven's name is being thrown around. I did get challenged to a debate by Kent Hovind.
Where?
But
where?
it fell through. It was on Standing for Truth's channel, and as soon as he said it was on his channel, I've gone, well, I'm not interested then.
Yeah. A dog is a dog. You never see a dog turn into a not dog.
And at which point he got really, really pissy. And said, and I said, well, that, isn't very Christian of you. And he said, well, I don't like excuses. I said, well, okay, I don't like you. I don't like your channel, and I'm not doing you a favor. So if you want to get pissy about it, fuck off.
There you
go. Do it somewhere else. It there is I'm not going to debate on a hostile channel because it does no good. It's not it's not educational to talk in front of a lost audience, and I really want to educate people. So I want neutral ground. And sorry,
That's
go on.
not him. That's not him in the chat, is it?
Who? What?
Standing for truth.
Nathan Thompson.
Is that a fake?
So. I think it might be the fake. Who cares?
Okay. I was gonna say that fucker did not just pop in here.
I don't see anybody. I don't see any NT. There he is.
Yeah, there's a
These
Nathan
losers,
Thompson.
bro, won't let me defend myself. Well, if it is a real Nathan Thompson, which I seriously doubt, you've done enough damage to your character already. So go spend your time elsewhere.
I don't understand what the point of a fake Nathan Thompson is.
Attention.
I'm curious.
Attention.
About
That's
that
all it is.
Myself.
It's just attention.
Could well be, but.
Oh, Jessica G says, I know he's a fake Nathan Thompson because the real Nathan has her banned off his channel, and I can see his comments. So okay,
yeah. That's a.
Sorry, Nathan. Sorry, fake Nathan Thompson. Your ploy has failed.
But I mean, so I do think that YouTubers, I do think that YouTubers do need to give some thought to holding people accountable for the way they act, the way they comport themselves, and what they do. And Jessica G brings up a point about bringing somebody with a very controversial history on to make money off them.
Right.
And there is a moral dimension to that as well.
Props to Tanner Withheld. It's a fake. Yes. With my DS, I'm a big DS9 fan, so yes.
Okay.
Jessica G has sent this video. I'm going to see if I can get it in here to play for everybody. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yes, my child.
Lord have mercy.
Yeah.
I don't want to have to sit through 40 minutes or 20 minutes of that because it won't let me fast forward.
And yeah, I agree. Jessica G is right. That's the only reason MDD brings people like that on, and it kind of makes it more gross. And yeah, they go for the dumpster fire. That's what they're looking for. It's for the spectacle.
And that's fine.
And not for
if
the
that's what you want, then that's what you need to say. Hey, look, we're not a modern day debate channel. We're a modern day dumpster fire channel. You know what I mean? If you want to go for the sensationalism, that's fine. But tell everybody, I'm going for the sensationalism.
To some extent, it's. It's sort of fight the flat Earths, modus operandi. He's basically there to sort of generate dumpster fires.
Yeah.
But if you go on his show, that's what you're going to get, and that's the end of that story, really.
Mm.
Pika Pup says that. They're tempted to make a no-profit debate channel where all the money goes to charity.
That'd be
I'm sure Demon would be willing to help with that as well.
Absolutely.
Yep. How did that? So I noticed that your last stream was nuked again.
Yeah, twice.
Yeah.
I know I offered to jump on and help out. And I was listening to the stream and everything seemed to be going good, but then all of a sudden you got nuked. And I was like, holy shit.
Yeah.
And then you were trying to come back on, and I saw when you grabbed Team Skeptic and you were trying to get him to help out. But then I was like, oh shit, I think it might be over because I think they just totally just nuked your ass. So then I went to sleep, and that's why I didn't get to help out. and I'm really sad because you and Tony had a conversation about World of Warcraft, and I was like, God damn it, why am I not in on this conversation?
There you go.
Because I heard you're mentioning stuff, and I'm like,
twice.
that's not right. That's not right. That's not right. But anyway, what happened?
So I went on chat roulette, which I found out was a bad idea because apparently it is, how could I say it, flush with penises. What's the collective term for penises? Is it penises or peni?
No, it's just penises.
Dicks.
It's
Dicks.
just penises. Yeah.
Cocks and bollocks. But anyway,
It's a sausage factory.
Yeah, exactly. It's pretty bad. And then afterwards, I started playing a video that had just been put up by the Lad Bible, which is a pretty big channel on social media. And yeah, I was just doing a live debunk of it. And yeah, got nuked. Just like that.
Because it was the Lad Bible, or
Yep. I think so. Yeah.
why?
So I was doing a live debunk. I kept pausing it, talking over it. You know, I was interacting with the chat during it, and yeah, they just didn't like it, and they nuked it without any warning, no strike, no nothing, just boom, gone. And yeah, it took me it was just over an hour to get the stream back up and running. And so I lost all of the chats that were there. I lost all of the interaction time from my channel, which, you know, it wasn't the goal of it anyway, but it's just a nice kind of
It's like
side
an extra thing, yeah.
Yeah, and I don't think I was getting any revenue from it anyway because there was some copyright strikes earlier on or whatever. So but again, I don't really give a shit about that. It was more about being on the air so that we could get enough money for charity, but at the same time as I guess an indirect payment to me was the fact that I was getting some interaction time out of it, which is good for the channel and to help it grow as well. So I lost all the interaction channel from both streams. The interaction time, sorry, from both streams. It's not a big deal. I mean, I don't really care about the interaction side of things too much, but it's just a pain in the ass.
It's nice to have it though.
It's great, yeah. It's a good, like, cause you know, while I'm sitting there for 12 hours or so for charity, my channel is getting some benefit out of it, and I think that's a good thing. And it doesn't cost anybody anything or whatever, so it's not, you know, it's not inappropriate or whatever. But yeah, so to lose that is a little bit unfortunate, but it's not the end of the world. We still made like $800 for charity, so. Yeah, so
yeah, nice.
It completely. Tony paid for me to inflict some pretty bad pain upon myself towards the end of the stream. So JL sent me this stuff. I've still got it here on my desk, and it is a lime seasoning. But I ate it before I looked at it, and I thought it was sherbet. I thought it was like sugar. It is so potent as well. So what I did was I put some of that on the end of my my fancy Victorian knife. I snorted it.
Are you shitting me?
Yeah, I snorted it. And
no,
then
he's not shitting you.
I'm dead serious.
Irish, that's beer salt.
Yeah.
I know that
shit
now.
Is beer salt.
It smelled pretty good. So I snorted some. So I right. So here's what happened. Right. So on the table in front of me, I had my Victorian knife with salt on the end of it. I had the scorpion lollipop kind of broken up so I could chew it, and I had a goblet of whiskey, and I had a salt all around the rim of the whiskey as well. So I snorted the salt, then I ate the scorpion, then I licked the salt, and then I dropped a big fat shot of whiskey at the end of it. And yeah, I don't know. It burned, man. Like I could feel that salt like in the back of my eyes.
I bet you could.
Awful. It was awful. That was the worst part. The scorpion, there was no bad taste. It was just the thought of it. And the whiskey was awesome.
So, Irish, you are aware that we're trying to convince the audience that the flat earthers are the dumb ones, right?
Yes. I see a glaring issue with that.
Oh, we've got our own jackass here on the stream.
Oh,
Yes.
this is nothing. I went to school with a guy who literally ate soda cans. And we called him the goat. We called him the
God.
goat. Yeah, he would eat soda. He would snort whatever we put in front of him. I'm sure he's OD'd by now, but my goodness.
Hold on. Did you say he used to eat soda
Yes.
cans? Well, his asshole must have been in ribbons, man. From
I
shit.
mean, yeah.
Oh God, I'm just thinking of that chewing tinfoil.
No. That's not tinfoil. That's not tinfoil. That's some fucking. That's some thick
That's
ass.
aluminium.
Yeah, it's aluminium.
Oh,
Just putting it in your mouth.
Yeah.
you know what? Funny enough, while we're on the subject of food wrapping, cling film. I cannot touch cling film, man. You know, cellophane or whatever. I can't touch it. I cannot touch it. Mrs. Demon would be like, "Can you get the chicken out of the fridge?" I'd be like, "Yeah, sure." And I'd open the fridge, it'd be like, "Bark, bark, bark, bark," and you know, it'd be wrapped in cellophane or whatever. And I'm like, "Sorry, can't do it. Can't touch it, man."
You're talking about like clear plastic
Why?
wrap.
Yeah, that stuff.
Yes.
I can't touch it. And the other one I can't touch.
No,
is,
you can.
pillows.
You choose not to.
I choose not to.
Why?
You know
Why do you choose not to?
And velvet, I can't do velvet either. Ugh.
Velvet
Oh,
is
because
nice.
of the feel.
Or
Because of the way it
corduroy.
feels.
Yeah, it's awful,
Okay.
man.
What about corduroy?
I can't stand it.
How does an Irishman not like corduroy?
You know, when you're walking.
When you're walking down the road, your hips sound like fucking what's his face, Chewbacca.
Oh my god.
Okay. Describe it. I'm very, very curious. So.
Yep.
You touch the Reynolds wrap, the plastic wrap.
Yep.
What sensation is it for you? Because for us, it's just like this is just a sheet of plastic.
Okay, so
I thought
when
you meant
it's
like you
in a
couldn't touch it
certain-
because every time you touch it, it does what it does to me, and it like gets all weird, folded, and I can't fix it, and I just end up throwing it away.
Yeah, and it like consumes you, and it wraps on you like fucking. It's awful,
It's
man.
not the stuff, man.
It's like when you open it and then you tear it and it just like immediately just goes onto your face and it's it's the worst feeling ever.
Jesus.
It's the
So-
soft.
so
I don't like
so we're
soft
just
stuff. I like
pulling out the wrap.
rough stuff. I like rough.
I bet you
I
do.
don't like
I
soft-
bet you do like
We're
rough
Pulling
stuff.
out the wrap.
Got that
Pulling
right.
out the wrap.
Yes,
And we pull the
so-
sheet out and we wrap the plate. But he's like, I pull out the wrap and I'm afraid it's gonna stick to my face
Right.
and I can't get it off.
So, yeah. Have you ever been tested for neurological dysfunction?
No, I think I'm perfectly
Because
normal.
with the stuff you snort and ingest, there are some possible chemical reactions.
That's a good
Yeah.
point.
That's
Oh,
actually
man.
so. Historical philosopher brings up a good point. Asks if we remember a show called Crossfire. That's where Tucker Carlson got his. I don't want to say where he got his start, but it's where he got a big break in national TV. I always thought he was a douchebag then. He just keeps proving how much of a douchebag he is. But yeah, that would be that would actually be a really cool show style to do. And I would love to do that. I would love to do a Crossfire type show where we actually moderate. So as soon as I get the software and whatnot to be able to do that effectively, absolutely coming to the plot hole, and more than happy to include all the Beardsmen. We can do a rotating show like that on the Beardsmen's channels, just like we do this one. So
Okay. Yeah, that'd be great. I'm always up for shouting at people.
hell yes.
Absolutely.
You can tell me not to. So
I had to look that up, Irish. So that is you have multiple forms of sensory aversion,
You're on the spectrum. You know that, right?
which is a trait of being on the spectrum.
Oh yeah, no, I think I am on the spectrum. My mom used to always say that to me, and she's an expert. Like
Yeah, your mom.
that's what she
Yeah, I
does
was
for a
gonna say your
living.
mom. She's in that. Does she work with the schools, or is it something different?
yeah,
she's a psychologist, but she's at the moment She's the head of residential care for the Southern District of Ireland. So she looks after housing mostly children with disabilities and providing respite housing and respite care.
Okay.
For her
You see,
expertise
I
is
would have agreed that you were on the spectrum somewhere, except that autistic kids normally have some sort of intellectual capacity.
Lord have mercy.
So, Tony, what's that red thing up against your wall?
That red thing, I mean, you've asked me this before. It's the
Yeah, I know. I was just hoping you might clarify for us.
It's the tube off my vacuum cleaner.
Yeah, conveniently located next to your bed.
Oh lordy!
It's my vacuum cleaner.
Oh, look at how handy that is! It's right behind.
There you go.
Oh my God! He's got
Perfect because it's much lighter when it's on top of you.
Oh Jesus Christ!
You don't have to work.
we have derailed.
I kind of like this. This is interesting, and I like where it was going. Like people are coming up with names for what a debate structure could be on the Four Beardsmen. And I like the agree you're a prick. I like that idea, but actually this would be interesting. What if we did do debates? What if the four Beardsmen did debates and we brought someone else on for one of us to tackle?
I feel like that could be a little bit daunting for the guests that we brought on, because there are four of us and one of them, and they might feel as if we're ganging up on them. So it would be a difficult show to get started.
This is, but yeah, it might be difficult to get started, but I think as JL just explained it, it would. The others of us would only be here as moderators.
Oh, for certain, yes.
Or even if we brought in an outside moderator, like if Ilya or somebody wanted to come on, and just and it's just one of us. We're just again now the rest of us would be on there, and we're just kind of there. And but there's one selected like Irish would go up against like Hip Hop Hippie or something like that, or someone
except
else,
not
whoever.
Hip Hop Hippie, because I won't fucking have that
Except
jackass on.
And then
fuck him.
So one of us goes in. So it's agreed at that point, and then we moderate, and then the other guys are simply there as far as handling chat and handling super chats, and then dealing with shit after the fact. So
sorry, Tony, you forgot the Hoover, man. You forgot the vacuum cleaner.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, Jesus Christ. What has happened to us,
we went from talking about the serious ramifications of the upcoming election to making vacuum sucking noises into the microphone.
Yes. How will we format our intellectual debates? Hey, Tony, take your dick Hoover with you. Hey, Tony, fuck the Hoover. How do we go from this intellectual conversation of how we're going to formulate this thing? And we need to be very fair to our guests by not having too much. Hey, Tony, stick your dick in a vacuum cleaner. Hey. Oh shit.
Because that's what we come to expect on the Beardsman.
Hey, guys. Oh, he's back. Shit. Oh, you had Bluetooth headphones on, Tony, did you?
Yes.
Shit.
Could hear you the entire time. So
damn it. I was just about to play a prank on you, but with the headphones on, it wouldn't work. Oh, well.
No.
Nerd Angle actually might have a point that it would actually be set up as a separate deal. Like if the Four Beardsmen had their own channel. And
that's a good idea.
And then we would just show up, and then so today on the Four Beardsmen. So then we would have a host, we'd have a moderator, and then the two that are speaking. That way, it's kind of like even there. So Johnny could host it. That's if we had a dedicated channel for the Four Beardsmen.
Well, I mean, I think we could still do it rotating. We could do it either way. We could rotate it. That way, we don't have to set up a new channel and say everybody go sub and whatever, and then wait for all the bullshit on that end. We can rotate it and then still have the same sort of format, and have it be a separate show than the Four Beardsmen. We could still do that.
I think that's the way to go. That would be my vote. That and Trump.
Oh,
I swear to God, I will cunt punch you.
Come and get it. You will never get this. You will never... la, 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 la.
Hey,
I have a chair.
oh, you know what? This is how you handle that. Irish, you're not a man unless you snort some Reaper squeezins.
Oh.
Oh, jeez.
God damn it. No. Fucking no. I may be stupid, sir.
Have you ever?
But there's one thing I am not, sir, and that, sir, is an idiot.
May, there's no may about it.
If I donate $50 to your charity, will you do it?
I don't even want to be in the same room as it. It makes me projectile shit lava.
I
don't want
that's why
anything
it's
to
not
do
going to go in your mouth. It's just
Right.
going to go up your nose.
Up your nose.
That's even worse.
I
I'd
feel
probably go
like
blind.
PhD Tony has an important query.
I do. Has nobody here seen Back to the Future 2?
Yes.
Yeah, of course.
Just because somebody dares you to do something,
What's the matter, demon? You
you can
yella?
say no.
Yeah.
Chicken?
Chicken?
It's not going to work, fuckers.
Well, everybody,
$75?
now we know why. We have
real
another
man.
reason why. We have another reason why that Irish Demon is number 4 on the list.
Fucking bullshit. If you call me a pussy,
$75 to your charity? Will you do it?
no. It's too.
100?
No way. It's too hot.
$76.
$100.
I'm gonna need at least $250.
I got $2.50. Cool. Done.
Damn it.
Done.
All right. Oh, let me just get the bottle.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Here it
There's
is.
no-
Here
there's no
it is.
Hey, I
Is
went
there-
full. I went
is
full
there an
spin.
adult?
Go ahead, Tony.
Is there an adult is somewhere near you, like
She's
your
avoiding
head up?
me.
I wonder why.
Yeah,
I wonder that all
was
the
it your
time.
propensity to kill
Hurt
you?
myself.
But anyway,
If the community banded together and I'm assuming that we wanted to get one of those one of the special wheelchairs for your niece.
Oh, sorry. Hold on. That was my dog. I was like, something just touched me. I was like, what the fuck was that? It was my dog. Sorry. What? Go ahead.
So does your niece have one of those special wheelchairs?
She does have. Yeah. She's got one with her and about, I think it's 8 or 9 other kids share it, which works out great because then no single person is responsible for the upkeep, because you need to put about $1,000 into them every year to maintain, because of the salt water and stuff. So a lot of parts need like changed out and all that. So, but yeah, she has got access to one. I think there's only a few in the country though. Hey, buddy.
Wow, so this is such an awesome effort there. It's so fucking cool.
It's going to be great. I can't wait to do that stream. It's going to be fucking awesome. Hello.
Are we going to be doing that one collectively? Is that going to be on yours?
I'd love to do it collectively if you guys are down for that.
We'll make it work. We're going to have to figure out that 7-day stream thing, because with all the changes that have gone on through YouTube and what we're going to, because the 24-hour, that one's still processing, isn't it?
I think it is still processing. Yeah.
If it takes a year for that to process, Jesus Christ.
Well, I think that's what a few people said that it would take. Can I help you? I think it would take about a year, which is madness. It's fucking madness. But I mean, we could still do the. We could still do it. See, I don't know if we need to have it saved. What is fucking Tony doing, man?
well, Jessica G has just dropped you to 5 on the Sexiest listing, and number 4 is now your dog.
Wait a minute.
You know what? I can't just. Hold on a sec. Number 4.
The dog is 4 now.
This
The dog is 4
thing,
then.
This beautiful little thing is number 1. Hello.
That tells us more about you than you perhaps realized.
Hey, I'm all right with that. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm trying to get my
Yeah.
beaver on the show, but he's a little shy.
You're gonna get your beaver out.
Yep. But he's a little shy. He doesn't want to jump up on my lap because he's big.
You know,
Big
and I'm a
beaver.
bit remiss. I'm a bit remiss before I go like that, and I just realized it. But when all this voting went down, is like my most ardent supporter, Magda the Tripping Mistress. Thank you, sweetheart. I do appreciate your votes.
I'm disappointed in you, I have to say.
It warms my heart that that you would see me like that. I don't see myself like that, but I appreciate all the support. Thank you so much. I know I'm better than Irish Demon, so thank you for that.
I'm
love
gonna
you,
just
sweetheart.
say this, right?
Thank you.
I'm gonna go all out fucking Trump in this and call shenanigans. I was set up,
Leave it to the Irishman to call shenanigans.
I was set up, okay, because I had no FaceTime. Nobody got to see my face. Even
but
before
it's
the
not
vote
like
started.
it's not like they don't know what you
that's
look like.
bullshit.
It's not like they don't know what you look like.
Shenanigans.
It's not like they don't know what you look like. And I put a picture. I put a picture of you up.
This is gonna have to be a coup.
It's not like they don't know that you strongly resemble Red Pill, right? And we saw it earlier today, so or yesterday, or whenever it was.
When I had the mustache.
You still have the mustache.
You still have the. What are you talking about?
When I had the curly mustache, I meant. It's kind of coming back now a little bit.
You shouldn't get rid of the curly mustache. Because if you do, we won't be able to make fun of you anymore. I mean, not for that, anyways.
Jane, get me a razor.
If you think that's the only reason I make fun of Irish,
not at all.
you're sadly mistaken. Okay. What's going on
Surf
here?
says the camera being outworked in your favor, Irish.
Another person to add to my dead to me list.
Backs him up in that.
Another one? You're all dead to me.
Okay, so everybody, I'm gonna do something. I'm gonna put JL on the spot for a second. So JL Warren has a huge milestone coming up next week. Not this week, but the week after.
Yes.
Okay.
Ooh,
September 16th, the Week in Horror is hosting their season 1 finale on YouTube. Now, I've been telling him that he needs to do some lighting, and he hasn't done it yet. So I want everybody to pressure JL to, and all you need to say in this live chat is, follow Johnny's lighting requests. That's all you need to do. And I promise you, JL, you're going to look so much, I mean, not that you don't look sexy already, but you're going to look so much sexier.
He did give me some good advice as far as like lighting up the back and then lighting the front. And I think that the setup would be a little bit easier. I do need to get a new desk. This desk that I currently have is more tall than it is wide. So things are very kind of cramped.
I'm hearing a lot of excuses.
I'm just saying, I think that your lighting suggestion would work better if I had a better desk. If I had like a much better desk to work with, because what I currently have is more of a tower. And so, like, in actuality, like, here's my mic. My mic is, like, right here, but my tower is actually, like, up here. So my tower's above
No, that's fine.
And
Show
then I
off.
have... Huh?
Show off.
And then I've got, like, a bunch of shit over here, and I've got all kinds of stuff that the camera can't see. But if I had a flatter desk, if I had a nice wide desk right here, I could set this stuff up, and I'd be able to, like, position the lights a little bit more effectively, I think.
I'm telling you,
you are
only
beautiful,
need
though,
one light.
Jay.
You only need one light for
that.
yourself, and it's the lights in the background that will really sell the shot.
I think it's the lights in his eyes.
That's what it is. You can get, yes, Mario even more sexy than he already is. It's just a simple. You could even be one of those desk ring lights that kind of shines the right way, and then.
Oh yeah. I've actually got one of those. How much do they cost usually?
I think they're like $20.
Oh, okay. Because I felt like I got mine really, really cheap, and I was going to say I could send them over, but I actually think I paid more than that for mine. So, yeah, I've got one of those, and look, I'll just show you how sexy it makes me.
Colin says, JL, you can get a battery LED light that would make a huge difference, and you would be number 1 on the list.
Yeah, it's real simple. I mean, you can get there's actually a 2-pack of LEDs that you can get on Amazon for $20 that you can use for your backlights, and they're small, compact. We used them on that movie shoot we worked on together.
Yes.
So you can get those like $20, and then you can get yourself another one just for your face, one that you can control the heat or the level.
What's your thought on distancing? Like blocking, you know what I mean by blocking, obviously, like where you sit and stuff. Like with me, I've got my contents of my life behind
Right.
me. Do you think this more corner shot is better with a fill light in the back in the corner?
It really
Or-
depends on what you want your scene to be. You don't want something in the back that's going to draw too much attention away from you. You want it to look cool, unlike what Tony's got. You want it to look cool. And your bookcase is nice. And I would, like I said, I would make a few lighting changes on your bookcase just in the background.
Yeah,
That way
I'm gonna invest this
right.
week.
That way it gives you that depth of field, which is what I'm trying to get JL to do. Get rid of that overhead light that he's got in his office and highlight the Thing poster and the Cthulhu poster behind him, and then have the one light on him, which will pull out his features, his natural features.
Yeah.
My
Sounds good.
natural features. I don't think that's a good thing.
No, it really is. It really is, right?
It does make it sound like you have unnatural features, though.
But he is right about the overhead light, because typically I keep my head shaved. I just like having short hair. My hair doesn't grow in like really
You
well.
look like a
and
chia pet.
so I typically, and here in Texas, it's keeping your hair short is much better, especially in the hot months. And when I have my head completely shaved, which I'm going to be doing later on, I got to go get a haircut. It's just getting too long. When I go get my haircut, this thing is going to bounce off me like a fucking
Mirror.
just a halogen. Just blah. So.
And like I said, you could do all this for like $40. It wouldn't cost you much at all. It's all pressure jail. Everybody pressure jail. Light, gentle pressure.
Oh, you can pressure me hard.
Don't tempt me with a good time. Chia pet.
Jessica G says jails should put some of the people he's killed on the wall behind him.
I agree.
Yes.
Well, unfortunately, the head mounts are over there,
Okay.
and the way this is set up, I just can't get everything.
I'm gonna have to point out the obvious issues with what was going on here, JL. You're over here critiquing JM Truth about his set design, about his sound, and about his lighting.
Mm-hmm.
You know where I'm going with this.
Okay. That's not
There's a
That is
difference.
fair.
There's a difference.
No, that's not fair, because I critiqued him not because he was a failure. I critiqued him because he claimed mastery when he was a failure.
Yeah.
I don't claim to know anything at all. I claim that I'm a fucking idiot when it comes to this shit. So if people want to be like, yeah, you're right, it probably could be better. It probably could be light years better than what it actually is. I claim no mastery over broadcasting on YouTube.
That's just a slithery
That's a
way.
cop-out.
Yeah, exactly. That's a cop out.
Like me snaking. I have a suggestion for raising money for charity.
All right, what we got?
That we put a vote out to the chat to decide what color PhD Tony should dye his beard.
PhD Tony, are you allowed to change your beard color?
It is. There's no rule against it. Why
Purple.
would it be? So
Everybody in the chat,
what's
put a one in the chat if you think
what-
PhD Tony should dye his beard a crazy color.
why would anybody think that this was a good idea? This is
To raise money for charity.
For charity.
What's it called? Shave or dye, I think is the
okay.
that thing.
And it could be, one of those washout colors. It doesn't have to be
Yes.
permanent.
Oh, no, it can't.
Yes, it
No,
can.
it can't.
Yes, it can. Come on, the guy has a professional image he has to upkeep.
I can't dye my beard because of the luscious blackness of it.
You just have to dye. You have to bleach it first.
No way.
Yeah, but I wouldn't suggest doing that. That's why I would
Oh.
suggest a temporary color, because you can put that in and it'll overtake the blackness, and then when you wash it out, it washes away.
I'm down for that. If you guys are all down for dyeing your beards for charity,
We can do that. We can do
Careful.
yeah.
I actually can't. Tattoos, visible tattoos are one thing, but dyeing my beard, even though it's all white, and I can easily do it.
Yeah. Well, no,
dyeing
it's a washout, so you can wash it the same day and it comes out.
I don't know if I could risk that because my work would get really mad because I'm supposed to be going. I have to go into people's homes.
Well, no, I understand.
What you could do a test patch underneath.
Yeah.
And see, just to make sure it does wash off. Or you could use like, oh no, actually that's a terrible idea. Never mind.
Surf would like us to know that he is colorblind and he feels he's being discriminated against.
Jeez.
Oh my goodness.
So yeah, I think you know what we can hash that out. We'll hash that out because I think that's
I'm not opposed to it if it's going to raise money for charity. I will. I'm certainly on board. Though, if you think I'm going it alone, Irish.
No, I'll jump in there. Yeah, I'll jump in there too.
I'm there. I'm fucking right there. What we should also do is we should keep a diary of how much we raise for charity between us over a 12-month period or whatever. Just so that we, it'd be cool to know at the end of the year how much we've all raised for charity. I think that'd be really cool if you guys are up for that.
Sure.
Blue Marble Science.
Blue Marble
Science in the house says, if I grow a beard, can I be Hillbilly Hairy Balls?
Absolutely.
Blue Marble Science. Blue Marble Science. Send me an email, theplothole1@gmail.com. Not because I want to see your blue hairy balls, but because I still want to contribute some music for one of your upcoming videos, and it's going to be fucking hilarious.
That sounds like fun. Oh yeah, Johnny O, you know the CDs you sent us. CDs nuts. Are they copyright? For YouTube, I mean.
You have my permission to use them.
No, I mean, like, are you able to play them on a stream first one night or something?
Yeah, I've done it several times. I own the copyrights to that music.
Oh, you do? Oh, awesome. Do you reckon there'd be anything in there that would be good for my intro? Because I'm having copyright issues with my intro music.
Yeah. Let's see. Listen to a lot of them and tell me which ones you like the most, and I can,
I'm going to be in the car all day tomorrow, so I intend to listen to it multiple times in the car, and I'm gonna give a few copies to a couple of friends and stuff.
Yeah.
Send
one to Commander Darklight, by the way.
Yeah, absolutely. I will, of course. I'm putting together a package for Commander Darklight at the moment, so I'll definitely send him a copy.
What are you doing over
Alien X Gaming has an interesting challenge that if we were to do this and try to raise money, then we have a deadline for it. And whoever raises the least has to completely shave their beard.
I refuse.
Oh, that is playing with fire.
Because then we wouldn't be the 4 Beardsmen anymore. We'd be the 3 Beardsmen and that fucking shaved guy.
We'd be the 3 Beardsmen and Johnny.
3 Beardsmen and an egg.
And plus,
I don't know about that.
I couldn't do it because my children are autistic. Well, my son is autistic, and that would really fuck with him.
Yeah, he probably wouldn't react to that too well, I reckon. Zebulon181 asks, what kind of fish do I keep? Well, in this tank right here, I've got... Hold on, Actually, I probably won't because I got the shitty camera, so... But in the tank here behind me, I have got 2 beautiful Ryukin goldfish from Japan. And I've got a load of... Strange for this kind of tank, but I've got a load of Corridora catfish, which are these... and I've got a crying chihuahua as well. Up there behind me, I've got some beautiful cherry shrimp and also some ember tetras. I've got a massive tetra tank out in my living room. It's a beautiful tank. I breed guppies as well and loads of shrimp. Lots of different types of shrimp. What else do I have? I also have some African cichlids. And some other miscellaneous fish, but yeah.
Let me answer a couple of quick quandaries in the chat.
I just gotta let my dog out. I'll just be one sec.
Nerd Angle, yeah, absolutely. If you find something that you like you're more than welcome to use the song. And Chris Durham Music Channel, it is not available on Spotify anymore because this is older. But if you want a copy, send me an email with your mailing address to theplothole1@gmail.com. Let's see here. No, I could see that. Matt hated it when it came in. Yeah, Amy. That's my concern. Is I mean, I've got one child who is for certain on the spectrum, and I have another one that we think she might be. So I don't want to cause him any more stress, especially with the goings on of what's the world right now. Chocolate salty shrimp, gross.
And besides, if anybody's found me on Facebook, I got plenty of pictures of me on there with no beard, with completely clean shaven. So,
you know what? It's got to be getting late for the Aussies.
Oh, for this Aussie in particular, it's 10 past midnight.
Right, so we'll let Irish get back, and then we will wrap up and get on out of here.
Okay.
Historical philosopher. I write a lot of metal music. That's what I've recorded. But I write a lot of different types of music. For Blue Marble Science, it's not going to be a metal song. We'll just leave it at that.
Okay.
I like the idea of. Oh, go ahead.
No, go on.
Oh no, I was just saying. I was just musing. I kind of like the idea of the four Beardsmen having a dedicated channel.
Mm-hmm.
We can work out all those details for certain.
Yeah, I was just musing on it. The idea just kind of sticking with me. I was just like, oh, I kind of like that idea.
It would definitely work out the scheduling.
Yeah.
Yes, it would. Though I don't know. I get traffic out of
right,
this.
And that's the reason why I like keeping it rotating, because everybody gets equal traffic, which is cool.
Yeah.
My goodness, what's taking Irish so long? I guess he had to drop a deuce too.
Oh,
I think they called Oakley's.
Nerd Angle. This beer, what I have right now, it took me, I would say, I was not allowed to grow a beard at my last job, and I left that job in October of 2018. And we were not allowed to grow facial. Well, we could grow mustaches, but when I grow a mustache, I end up looking like the BTK killer, so I can't grow a mustache. So the day I I think legitimately the day I left, I didn't shave that day, and I have not picked up I haven't touched a razor since. So October 2018, I stopped shaving. Now, on the sides, I have to keep them clean because when the sides really grow out, it starts pushing out this way, and I don't know why. So I try to keep this clean so I don't look like don't look so bad. But I let all this just grow straight down, and I have to trim my mustache because when I eat, it'll get in my mouth, and that's
it's
really
the worst.
Yeah. So I trim my mustache. I keep my mustache trimmed, and I keep the sides kind of just low, just so it doesn't start going like blah, just growing like this. But this has been going straight since October 2018. I haven't touched this at all. So
you're touching it right now. So
well, I haven't shaved it at all. So and yes, Microraptor. Yeah, pretty easy to find on Facebook, and of course, all of my clean shaven pics are all over. You can see me when I was clean shaven. You can see me when I was about 70 pounds lighter as well, when I was going through a big giant fitness thing for a movie that did not pan out, that I thought I was going to get. And you can see me when I was fucking shredded.
Not just regular shredded, but fucking shredded. All right, now that we've got the demon back.
Yeah, that was about 8 years ago. Yeah. So
now that we got the demon back.
Oh, what did I mean? I fear an escalation here. I think we're going to end up at the point where we're like the Yakuza. Whoever doesn't bring in enough money gets their finger cut off or something.
Yeah, let's give our goodbyes so everybody can, I think Tony is he really needs to vacuum his room.
Absolutely.
Oh shit! Sorry. It gives a whole new meaning to. No, actually, never. No, you know what? Fuck it. It gives a whole new meaning to making sure that your machine is well oiled.
All right.
I actually had one of those vacuum cleaners, Tony. It sucked.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
All right, so Tony's going to take control. Tony's going to take control of the room.
Okay, so we're going to do our rounding up. Demon, why don't you go first?
I
What
sure
have you
will.
got
Thank you
coming
so
up?
much. I have a hate mail video coming out in a couple of days and a compilation of me eating disgusting stuff and basically, excuse me, holding back the vomit. Um, and other than that, just the usual waiting to see what happens and any launches coming up. I usually live stream them for the 8 or so people that turn out for those, but it's a lot of fun. And um, yeah, what are you fucking laughing at?
Jessica G.
Jessica G just dropped a comment that I have to change my diapers
Ah.
soon after midnight.
His nanny is outside the door, like, "Come on, Tony, put your vacuum cleaner away. We got to get down to business." But I just want to say for those in the chat, I really appreciate you all coming out and you know, always being there and having a chat with us, and to my fellow beardsmen, I really appreciate having you all as colleagues and friends. And you know, I know we, especially me and Tony, shout at each other a fair bit, but it's all in good taste and all in good fun, and I appreciate it. I appreciate the
You're just a
conversation.
prick.
I'm just a prick. But no, seriously, thank you everybody for turning out again tonight. It was a great show tonight. I think with us, it always starts off very serious and then gets
Go silly.
what could only be described as crazy. And I love it. So I love being here every week. I look forward to it every week. So it's a lot of fun.
Okay, JL, what have you got coming up?
Oh God, yes. Johnny did mention that Week in Horror has our season finale coming up on the 16th. So I'm really excited about that. It's gonna be a big live stream. We got trivia, we got prizes. We have, I think, so many guests that want to come onto the show just to say hi and you know, kind of, you know, touch base with us. It's gonna be a lot of fun. People in the horror industry. It's gonna be cool. So we got that coming up on the 16th. I do have 2 videos that I'm working on. One, the script is completed. I just need to shoot it after I get my hair cut. And the other one is one that Irish Demon kind of pointed me to, and I'm definitely going to hit that one. It might be kind of short because there's not a lot to go on, but I'm going to hit that one. So 2 videos coming up that are going to be on my personal channel. Other than that, just you know, staying over here, you know, just over here being number 2 on the list.
And Johnny, what have you got in the works?
I have a couple things in the works. I've got some of the. Hang on a second. I'm just shilling all of us really quick. All right, cool. I've got the Unpopular Opinions episode 4 that's coming out tomorrow. You guys seem to like the first 3 episodes, so I'm going to continue with that.
Awesome.
I've also
Absolutely brilliant.
I've also got some. Jessica G is just fucking savage.
Sorry, she's on point. She's on point.
I mean,
you look even more like Red Pill with your hat off, Demon.
Right, I'm gonna end this red pill bullshit.
Anyway, so yeah, I've got episode 4 coming out tomorrow. Wednesday, I think I'm going to release the Evan reacting to the comments on his last autism video, and then Friday, Jeremy, my original partner in crime, is back on the plot hole. That's going to be a lot of fun. rockmetaltalk.com. So we'll have a good time there.
Okay. So I am working on a new video. It'll be about gas pressure this time coming up. What's he done now? There's no need to throw a tantrum there. You're just going to make us. You're just going to make us put up.
No, he needs the helmet to make it feel nice and safe.
Okay, so yes. But apart from that, my schedule's fairly free. No debates organised or anything like that. But I am considering the possibility of perhaps having debates on my own channel. So see how that might go. But anyway, yeah. So apart from gas pressure, I'll be back with these 3 guys. Whose company I really enjoy and appreciate on the next 4 Beardsmen, which will be on JL's channel. Is that correct?
My next on the list? Yep.
Yeah. Okay. So, yeah. And it only remains for me to thank everybody in the chat, particular Jessica G, who I feel has contributed considerably to the evening's entertainment. I feel like she's almost an honorary Beardsman.
There's a question. Who's going to be the first to actually get Jessica G on a chat, like to get her on a stream?
That's a good one.
It's got to happen.
It does.
It does. It does have to happen. She seems to be very keen with very close with sit down with debunkers. So I'm fairly certain that they'll get her onto a stream.
I hope so. Whoever did this,
Irish, I fixed the red pill problem. Don't worry.
Yeah. Yes. Again.
Johnny, you're not going to use my society pick?
No. Next time. Next time I will, though.
Okay.
All right. But again, thank you guys so much for watching. We do have